Well, of course, Jim, there was one more type of thing on this show, and that was the main event for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship. The defending champion, Cody Rhodes, who's also a world champion, against another world champion, Seth Franklin Rollins.
And they get belts and rings, and I believe they're going to have possibly an amulet. Have you heard about it? They're going to make a champion's amulet cool. They could wear around their neck.
That'd be pretty
Lawler
cool.
had one of those one time. As part of his deal, he had the crown and an amulet. And that was, especially when he had a hairy chest before he had to start shaving it because he turned gray. That was fucking cool on a heel. The amulet.
That's why he started shaving his chest hair? Was it turned gray?
What the fuck do you think?
I don't know. I thought maybe he realized he looked like a gorilla. I'm not sure.
No, a guy spends his entire life looking like Lon Chaney Jr. in makeup for the Wolfman. And suddenly in his later years, he begins shaving his body, not only his chest, but his back and his sides and the backs of his knuckles and everywhere where he had hair.
Jesus.
Because how you going to dye that? Think about it. I'm not knocking the king. I just, the first time I saw him, he looked so odd. In the 70s, Lawler's body hair contributed to his being over because you couldn't tell that he had no muscular definition whatsoever. It made him look like a fucking tough guy. And, so thankfully he didn't have to shave when he was getting over it. It would have been Samson all over again, except with chest hair.
Well, Jim,
anyway,
speaking of people with no chest hair, Cody Rhodes was in this match.
Well, and Cody, he does it so good. He looks like a person that doesn't even have to shave. Bobby Eaton never shaved his chest or his back or anything. There was absolutely nothing there.
Lucky guy. What about Stan Lane?
Stan would use a small raising implement, razoring implement,
really,
every now and then. All right, but also he's got the light hair,
His raising implement was that van. But anyway, back to you.
That was the rising implement. The match here they had, okay. Cody Rhodes is the undisputed WWE champion, right? That's the way they refer to him.
Can't dispute that.
Well, Seth Rollins is. He is literally saying, I'm the real world champion. I'm the world heavyweight champion, and this is the real world title. He is publicly disputing it. So they pretty much just answered this fucking dispute with this match. But it's also for this fakakta crown jewel title that they made up because Saudi Arabia gives them hundreds of millions of dollars a year. So it's just, if it wasn't bad enough having two world champions, I mean, I'm all in favor of in limited quantities. Every so often, every so many years, you have a guy who never lost the belt and some reason, and he claims he's the uncrowned chair, he's the real champion, and the other guy's the pretender, and blah, 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 and you unify it. Love shit like that. But you just have two ongoing champions, and then you have both of them have a match for another title. Not even two champions have a match with neither title on the line, and one gets a win, necessitating the rematch with the titles on the line. But two champions have a match with neither one of those titles on the line to win another fucking belt. Have we again jumped the shark with shit, Brian? To just make anything mean something as a big match.
Yeah, I think we've jumped the shark in a lot of ways. I thought this match was silly, almost in a lot of ways as silly as the Cena match, although very different kinds of matches.
This is what I was going to say as well. I think the Cena match overall was maybe the one I liked the best. I can't even say my favorite, but the one I liked the best because they didn't use furniture. They didn't bury the referee. They didn't do anything stupid, try to kill each other. It was athletic. The best 20 minutes of the show, in my opinion, was the first 20 minutes of this match. The problem is the match went 30 minutes and in the last 10, they took the fucking taste out of my mouth that I had for the first 30 or first 20. These guys, they've got the conditioning. They have the cardio. They have the appearance. They look like athletes. They look like stars, wrestlers, celebrities. They've got the technical work, the selling and the offense, the moves, the experience, ring positioning. They work their asses off. They take their time. Seth Rollins as a heel was working the people too. Imagine that. They set up a match where they do spots that pay off with the babyface shining at the start and then the heel reacting as he's pissed off. They've clearly delineated whose side we're supposed to be on. They're doing everything right. And Seth, the way that the heel manages to cut the babyface off is Seth had gone out and snatched Michael Cole and menaced him, so Cody saves him, but then Seth stops Cody and gets heat on the floor and knocks over the Prime bottles. Where's Logan Paul? Did he go to leave and film a movie? What's he doing these days?
His podcast.
Oh, well, he can't be disturbed to come out and...
rehearsing for the next match.
Christ. Anyway, then he gets the heat, does Seth, on Cody. And Cody is one of the better babyface sellers. He understands it's the little things with the body and the body language and the great facials. And, the things they did make sense. Seth tried to taunt him with the flip, flop, and fly, but Cody blocked the fly and started flipping and flopping. But before he could fly, Seth got the figure 4. But Cody turned it. There was no problem here. A random CM Punk chant, but that because of Rollins. And again, I wrote this down, a random note again. The belt is so ugly. Have you ever liked green on title belts?
I actually kind of like the last championship belt that Bob Backlund had, the first one Hogan had. Just because I like the idea it had nameplates for everyone.
But that was green leather. I'm talking green in the plate.
No,
it's green.
It doesn't look good.
And it's giant. It's massive. It goes from above nipples to top of dick. Anyway, then Cody made a comeback and Seth was a ping pong ball. He was a bumping heel. That's refreshing to see. And Cody hit the Cody cutter, got a 2 count. And they went back and forth and Seth hit the pedigree and got a 2 count. And then Seth actually did the crossroads and got a 2 count. And Seth did another pedigree and another stomp and got a 2 count. And then Seth left the ring and got the watch from the timekeeper's table that Cody had given to Seth a couple years ago when he was one of the guys that helped Cody triumph over the bloodline, and they were even in the odds. Wasn't that when Seth got in the ring and it looked like because he took time off after his knee was flopping back and forth?
Yeah, WrestleMania.
Well, he got a gold watch for it. That sounds like a Dusty promo. And I blew my ACL for the motherfuckers, and they gave me a gold watch and said, "That's it, baby. The robot has done took your job," or whatever. So he puts the watch on his fist, does Seth, but he's conflicted. Should I do it or should I not? And you see him. Does anybody really act like that when they're conflicted, like all the wrestlers do when they're conflicted, where they bury their head in their hands and rub them across their head and look up and scrunch their face like they're trying to take a big shit and et cetera, et cetera?
Imagine how successful you could be as a pro wrestler today if you're not wishy-washy. You'd stand out, you'd be able to get so much done when everyone else is standing around trying to figure things out.
Be a decisive motherfucker. But he's conflicted, and then he puts the watch down. And obviously, this is going to figure into something. At some point, they're going to be able to go back to the footage, whether it's, Seth, really, I made a mistake. I should have punched you. Or Cody telling Seth, see, you didn't want to do it. You didn't want to win that way. There's some good in you. Because he'd already told Paul and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker they got to stay in the back. So it was a mano thing. Eventually he's going to switch babyface. Is that where, Heyman had been intimating that he and the Browns had a plan if Seth was to lose? Well, is Paul going to accuse him of being a wishy-washy prick because he didn't take the opportunity, even though he did win? Whatever the fuck. But nevertheless, he put the watch down and he ran into Cody's Cody cutter and a crossroads and a 2 count. And that's where I said, okay, the shark has been officially jumped. Because now we're 20 minutes in. They've done their finish a couple of times. They've got a number of big 2 counts. They've introduced this red herring. How much longer can they go?
There's always more things to kick out of.
Seth hit a coast-to-coast diving headbutt from one buckle to the other, 2 count. They fought on the top and helped each other do a Spanish fly off the top and a 2 count, and then nothing forever. And then they had stopped having a match, and they were into the stage where they would set up a stunt and they would do it and they would lay there forever to sell it while they showed replays. And then they would work to set up, it stopped being a match and it started being a series of tricks, as your kids used to say, before they outgrew watching it all. And then they went back to the buckles and they did a crossroads off the top rope. And that was a 2 count. And it's so phony how they have to help each other balance up there that it takes you out of the, you're just sitting there going, well, fuck, you could just get down. And then they have the slugfest in the middle. They can throw punches. Seth finally ducked under and grabbed the watch that was still on the mat from 10 minutes earlier. And then Cody kicked Seth, but Seth bumped into the referee. Cody went for the crossroads, but while he had Seth hooked, Seth reached up and hit Cody with the watch, and it looked to me like somewhat of a potato. Because Seth was blind. He had his head in fucking Cody's armpit. He just has to reach up and boop. So he punched him in the face, hit him with the stomp, and then the stomp off the top. So it couldn't be I hit you with a goddamn kind of a brass knuckle and then hit you with my finish, and then I have to do it off the top rope. 1, 2, 3, and it got a big pop. People cheered. They're just there to, oh, good. Yay. You guys did a lot of moves. Good.
Well, again, he's the heel who they have him have music that the fans like singing to. That didn't make sense from day one when he turned heel.
But that was, I liked 20 minutes, but they went 30. And the last 10 was just on and on. There you go.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Again, I told you I thought it was as silly as the Cena AJ thing, because eventually it wasn't them doing other people's moves. It was just them doing the biggest things they could do and kicking out of everything. I don't like it when AEW does it. I don't like it when these guys do it.
No, and that's why people expect it now, because they won't stop fucking doing it.
Fuck, Bronson Reed does a splash. No one kicks out. It's over. Just do one thing. Again, the Cena AJ thing's a different animal. That was a tribute to wrestling past. but I don't think it helps. And, again, another thing where, does Cody feel hot in any way? Does Cody have any momentum in any way? No interference. He fucking lost the match to the heel. But, I don't know. That's Crown Jewel. We'll see where it is next year.
I actually thought ahead of time that they've set themselves up where to have this match, Rollins had to win. Because not only was this a big match, but this was like number 4, number 5 between them. He's never beaten Cody. He had to, or elsewise he's just a rib. And they've been trying to push Rollins and the whole group in the situation. So, just because I expected him to win doesn't mean I expected him to need a bazooka to do it for either one of them. But also, it doesn't make it any more palatable that both the champions went for another fucking title. But at least Seth gets the ring. He doesn't have to cart the belt, with him wherever he goes.
Well, 5-match show started at 8 a.m. For both of us. Any thoughts before we wrap up Crown Jewel on?
It didn't start at 8 a.m. for me.
What time did it start?
Actually, it did. It did about 2 days later when I finally got around to fucking watching it. I had a busy weekend with fun, exciting yard work and things. So I didn't get up at 8 o'clock Saturday morning and head right into that. That would have ruined my whole weekend.
Well, Jim, of course, 8 a.m. And then you have to worry about, how am I going to see it? You have to log into whatever app it's on. In America, it's a pain in the neck. You have to go to the ESPN app. It's available through Disney Plus. And then you go there and then it says you have to subscribe and $30 a month.
Oh, I had to figure out how to do their little search thing too, because they just wouldn't give me the fucking banner.
So that's Australia for that. Then Raw's on Netflix. I mean, everything's all over the place. If only there was a service that the listeners can put in the service to help them access wrestling and WWE premium live events worldwide.
A bullshit cutter is what you're saying. Take somebody to cut through all the bullshit going on around there and get you to where you can watch the wrestling programs that you want to watch when you want to watch them without all the hoo-ha and the gaga and the hoopla and the hyperbole and all the aribitagurgies going on. That's our friends over at Surfshark, surfshark.com. Because you may hear us talk about some of these shows jump a shark, but this is the first time that we've been lined up with a surfing shark. And they make it easy not only to watch the wrestling, but also, Brian, we've been talking about it, the new rating system. Every time the people go to the store and they buy one of these smart TVs or the smart phones or the smart stoves or the smart fridges or the smart asses, they're bringing a spy into their home. Because now people are able to listen to everything you did. They're listening to you bumping uglies with the old lady at night. That's what that refrigerator is doing while it's supposed to be cooling off your Ripple.
Are you doing this
instead?
Are you doing this in the kitchen? Why would the refrigerator know what you're doing in the bedroom?
Well, having kitchen sex is hot, especially on fucking burger night. But let me tell you this. You're being listened to. You're being eavesdropped on. Everything that goes on in your house. Because how else they getting these ratings? They've come out and admitted it. So what you need to do is you need to flummox these people, the evil overlords that are eavesdropping on you and listening to you and everything you do in your house. Surfshark.com. These people can just swerve all that stuff around. They will not know where you are. They'll think that you're bumping uglies in your kitchen in Bolivia or maybe Denmark. Those people up in Denmark, I've heard they're into the candid photography.
This is a terrible
If you want to
example.
send some of that stuff out, they won't know where it's coming. They'll think it's coming from Tallahassee.
Again, let's not use these examples even on burger night. Let's talk about wrestling and accessing wrestling programming from around the world. New Japan had a big event overnight. And if you wanted to access it from here or from Canada or from Chile or wherever you may want to be, Surfshark.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is if you want to access some of these things, you're fucked unless Surfshark helps you because you can get access to the commercial-free WWE. And Lord knows we don't want to watch any more commercials on that program on the Canadian Netflix. And the Canadians, they get all the good shit. But all you need is Surfshark and you'll have all the good shit too. And like I said, you know, again, if you want to go ahead and just play hide the sausage in your kitchen before you have breakfast sausage, it's up to you, but you shouldn't have these evil ratings corporations listening to you at the same time. Eliminate this. Your whole home will be transferred to a foreign country and surrounded with a dome of protection.
Well, again, virtually, you will stay in your home wherever you are. No travel.
Yeah, you go with the home, but the home is at a completely different location that nobody can ever find again.
A virtual sense. You will remain where you are. There is no passport needed, no travel necessary.
No passport. This is completely off the radar of the government authorities. That's part of the...
Let's not say that either. Ladies and gentlemen, what this is a great way to access
They're just going to see something moving down the interstate on a big flatbed truck with a blanket, a big canvas over it. They're not going to know it's your house.
Oh, you hear that, Jim? You know what that means.
Privacy. Secure your privacy, folks, with Surfshark. You need security and privacy, and you're going to get that now by going to surfshark.com/JCE. Use the code JCE at checkout, and you're going to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN protection. If you sign up for a year, you actually get 16 months because 4 months and a year is 16 months. Carry the 2. Again, surfshark.com. Watch the wrestling programs that are forbidden to you here in this country, the police state that we live in. You can be anywhere in the world you want to be. You can be free to be you as long as you don't bother me. Go to surfshark.com/JCE. 4 extra months right now. Get this internet spying that all these big ratings companies are doing on you taken care of once and for all. They won't be able to find you. You're just gone. It's like you're in the internet's witness protection program. You can just live your life, go out in the front yard in a bathrobe with your dick hanging out, pick up your newspaper. You're a mobster, but now you're in suburbia.
Ladies and gentlemen, fun examples, and of course, that's what we do here. We have fun. And if you want to access wrestling events from around the world and not have to pay for multiple services, Surfshark is the way. One final time, Jim.
Just take shit without paying all over the world.
That's not what I said. One final time, Jim. What's that promo code?
JCE.